this video, we are going to discuss text messages and how they're used in court cases. We're going to talk about the do's and the don'ts, how to save and share your messages, what they are used for, what to include when sharing, how to take a proper screenshot for court, and much more. So first things first, don't be stupid. Think before you text. Don't use bad language, don't bring up past problems, don't take out your frustrations, focus on your case and your children if you have any involved. When texting, you want to avoid doing so if you feel angry or frustrated. If your ex is being hateful or threatening, do not engage but save those messages for further use. Text messages should primarily be used for recorded agreements, time exchanges, or anything else relating to your case. For example, please do not send text messages like this. Although this text may seem extreme, we do see texts like this all the time. There are obviously some serious issues here. We have bad language being used, threats are being made, and they're involving the children. Before you send a text message, you need to think about the fact that the judge deciding on your case, an opposing attorney, an amicus attorney may be reading your text messages. If your texts are incriminating and show that you don't co-parent, you lie, you use bad language, you may show signs of aggression or violent behavior, none of that is going to help you in your case. In this next example, it's less extreme, but it still shows some bad signs. You have a parent being non-compliant, they're being spiteful, and they're just being a bad parent. The other parent, however, is remaining calm, they're not fighting back, and they're just letting that parent make an ass of themselves. So what text messages can be used? You can usually only use text messages between parties, so you typically cannot use text from your own children, which should be for obvious reasons. Your children can be easily influenced, coerced, or manipulated. Sometimes children will lie in exchange for something for those lies, and again, children should just not be involved. A child is going through enough if their parents are getting divorced or fighting over custody, and they should be kept out of it as much as possible. So let's look at some examples. Though this text message can be used, it's not very useful. It proves nothing. This is purely hearsay. He said this, she said that. Just because you're claiming that this other person took something from you, if he's not acknowledging it, it doesn't mean anything. This text message, however, can be used. John is admitting to taking things. Now, the issue is it relevant? If John later says that he didn't take it, this text message proves that he's lying. And if he's lying about this, we don't know what else he could be lying about. So what is needed to use text messages in court? There are a few things that you want to include in every screenshot. You want to make sure that you include the contact name so you can tell who you're actually having that conversation with. You want to include the date. If possible, add timestamps because they can be very relevant depending on the conversation. For Android, it's very simple. You tap the message and then you take a screenshot. For Apple, you simply use 2 fingers, you swipe to the left, and then use screenshot to add that timestamp. Another very important thing to take a proper screenshot is to make sure that your text messages flow completely. In this example, you can clearly see that a message is missing. We have no idea what has been deleted or excluded. In this example, the message is obviously very fluid and you can tell that it's a continuous conversation, and this can be used in court. So there are a few problems with screenshots, the biggest issue being screenshots are time consuming. There are much more preferred methods, but we'll get to that here in a second. Another issue is how do you produce those text messages to your attorney? You have a few options. You can put them on a flash drive, you can Dropbox the entire folder, you can print them out and bring them to their office, but do not embed all of those text messages in an email. Another thing you can do is label your screenshots with the date. You can also add a description if you feel like that is necessary. The most important thing is do not write on any documents you produce, text messages or otherwise. If you write on something, we have to spend the time and your money removing those writings from that document. Our preferred method is to use a downloaded software. There are so many programs, applications, and softwares that sole purpose is to download text messages from your phone. There are programs that you can pay for, but there are also free programs. At our office, we like to use iMazing, MobiMover, and Coolmuster. iMazing is great for iPhones, but it does cost money. MobiMover can be used for both iPhones and Androids. It's a little more complicated, and I've included a PDF in the link below. And Muster is also a free program that can be used with iPhones and Androids. In conclusion, think before you speak and text. Both can be produced and used against you in your court case. Properly save and share your messages, and ask your attorney if you're unsure how to do so. And lastly, if screenshotting, include all the necessary information so it can be used. I hope you found this information to be helpful in your own court case.